NFL Divisional Round Previews, Predictions and Key Matchups. It's the most exciting time of the year in the NFL, the Divisional Round of the playoffs. The stage is set for some of the most high-stakes, action-packed games of the entire season, with only 8 teams left standing. Every play matters, so buckle up as we dive into predictions and analysis of all 4 matchups, featuring some of the league's top teams and players. 1. Kansas City Chiefs vs. Houston Texans. Game info. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Kansas City's quest for a three-peat. The Kansas City Chiefs are on a mission to make history, aiming for an unprecedented third straight Super Bowl victory. It all starts against the Houston Texans, who are coming off a stellar 32-12 win over the Los Angeles Chargers in the wildcard round. C.J. Stroud had a breakout performance, showing why he's a rookie to watch, while the Texans' defense forced 4 interceptions, including 2 from All-Pro cornerback Derek Stingley. While Houston's defense played lights out against Justin Herbert, they'll need to bring their A-game once again to slow down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The key for Houston? Keep Mahomes off the field. If Stroud and the offense can avoid turnovers and Joe Mixon continues his hot streak, the Texans may just have a shot at the upset. However, Kansas City is a well-oiled machine, and Mahomes is nearly unstoppable in the playoffs. The Chiefs have won 8 straight games in the divisional and wildcard rounds, and they're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 postseason games. While Houston can make it interesting, the Chiefs' experience and offensive firepower should shine through in the end. Prediction: Chiefs 27-17. 2. Detroit Lions vs. Washington Commanders. Game info. Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Lions dream of a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions are hunting for their first ever Super Bowl victory, and they start their playoff journey as the number 1 seed in the NFC. Their opponent? The Washington Commanders, who pulled off a thrilling wild-card win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, thanks to rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels, who connected with Terry McLaurin and Dyami Brown in crucial moments. The Commanders have found ways to win late in games, but they're going up against one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. The Lions' backfield, with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, is set to give Washington's defense fits. If Montgomery is fully healthy, Detroit's offense will be even more dangerous. Jared Goff will also look to exploit Washington's defense, which has been shaky at times this season. The Commanders will need to lean on their defense to slow down the Lions. But Detroit has too many weapons on offense, and their defense has improved throughout the season. Expect the Lions to advance, but it will be a closer game than most anticipate. Prediction: Lions 30-24. 3. Philadelphia Eagles vs. Los Angeles Rams. Game info. Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The battle in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles enter this game as the number 1 seed in the NFC, led by the dynamic Jalen Hurts and an explosive ground game powered by Saquon Barkley. Barkley's historic 255-yard performance against the Rams earlier in the season will surely be in the minds of Los Angeles defensive players. However, the Rams' defense has improved since then, allowing just 104.1 rushing yards per game over the past few weeks. Philadelphia's offense will look to control the clock and the game on the ground. But the Rams have one of the league's top defensive lines, led by Aaron Donald. If they can keep Barkley in check and put pressure on Hurts, the Rams could make it a competitive game. On offense, Matthew Stafford will need to make some big plays to keep the Eagles' defense on their heels, especially with a receiving core that includes Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. However, with the Eagles' defense being as formidable as it is, the Rams will struggle to put up enough points to keep up with Philadelphia's high-powered attack. While McVay is great on short rest, and Stafford has had success against Philly in previous matchups, it's hard to see the Rams having enough firepower to upset the Eagles in Philadelphia, especially with the Eagles' dominant run game and defense. Prediction: Eagles 29-17. 4. Buffalo Bills vs. Baltimore Ravens. Game info. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The battle of MVP contenders. This is the game that promises fireworks. 2 of the most exciting quarterbacks in the league, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, face off in a game that could go either way. Jackson and the Ravens got the better of Buffalo earlier in the season, with a 35-10 beatdown that included a dominant performance from Baltimore's offense and defense. The Ravens' defense was able to stifle Josh Allen and the Bills' offense. But a lot has changed since that game. The Bills have gotten healthy and are playing at a high level, with Allen continuing to put up MVP-caliber numbers. Baltimore, led by Jackson and a strong defense, will need to keep pressure on Allen and control the clock with their running game, especially with Derrick Henry powering the offense. Buffalo's defense will have a tough task slowing down Jackson, but if they can find a way to contain him and force him into uncomfortable situations, the Bills should be able to pull out the win. Expect a close, high-scoring affair that could come down to the wire. In what could be a statement game for both teams, the Bills will have the edge in the end, thanks to their home field advantage and Allen's ability to make plays when it matters most. Prediction: Bills 30-27. Summary of predictions: Kansas City Chiefs vs. Houston Texans. Chiefs win 27-17. Detroit Lions vs. Washington Commanders. Lions win 30-24. Philadelphia Eagles vs. Los Angeles Rams. Eagles win 29-17. Buffalo Bills vs. Baltimore Ravens. Bills win 30-27. These matchups are loaded with intriguing storylines. From Patrick Mahomes' pursuit of a third straight Super Bowl to Lamar Jackson's attempt to lead Baltimore back to the AFC Championship. The divisional round is always full of surprises. And with so much talent on display, you won't want to miss a single play this weekend. Will the favorites advance, or will we see some shocking upsets? Keep your eyes on the action, and let the games begin. Eagles slugged their way past Packers in unsightly wild card affair, in a wild card playoff game that left fans cringing. The Green Bay Packers season came to a painful end with a 22-10 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Packers, who had an 11-win season, simply couldn't get it done against the top-tier teams. And this game was the perfect example of that flaw. They couldn't move the ball. And Jordan Love's 3 interceptions didn't help matters, even with a solid run from Josh Jacobs that set up their only touchdown. It wasn't nearly enough to overcome their offensive struggles. From the start, it was clear this was going to be a slugfest. The Packers turned the ball over 3 times in the first half, including a fumble caused by a big hit from Eagles linebacker Oren Burks on the opening kickoff. It was debatable whether the Packers had recovered the ball, but the ruling stood, and the Eagles capitalized with a Jahan Dotson touchdown from Jalen Hurts. By halftime, it was 10-0. With both teams looking completely out of sync. The Packers had only 16 yards and 1 first down through their first 4 possessions, while Hurts was having his own struggles, missing 7 consecutive passes after starting 6 for 6. The second half didn't offer much relief, though there were a few bright spots. Dallas Goedert broke free for a 24-yard touchdown after shaking off 3 defenders. And Jacobs answered with a great run to the 1-yard line before finishing the drive for a touchdown.